Hey everyone, back to the channel. S- Steve here from Uncle Cthulhu Reviews. It's a review of Carronade 2025, Scotland's first big wargaming show of the season, and for me, it's a local favourite. So I live the other side of Glasgow, so you know what? It's a wee bit of a drive, an hour and a half plus, but yeah, it's my closest big show. So it's run by Falkirk and District War Games Club. I've been going there for years. Kind of book 2 weeks off around this time of year so I can definitely attend Carronade, and you get nice weather in May as well up here. And yeah, Carronade's a cracking way to kick off the war gaming year for us. I think next year, hope maybe is to get down to Vapman Attack in York. Um, if I can wrangle it again, Joyous Six over summer, Claymore in August, and I want to get down to Middlesbrough for their, I think it's Battleground in November. Last year, I was all set to go, started driving, and the snow forced me back. So, Carronade is held in a school in Falkirk, and it's spread out over a gym hall, the dining hall, a couple of classrooms upstairs, spacious central hall between the two halls, corridor really, and the wee annex this year as well. Traditional layout for a show, so games in the middle, traders around the edge, classic, reliable, just how I like my conventions, able to get around, chat to folks. And that's one of the key things if you go into a war game show, if you just go around, look at some stuff, buy some stuff, and go, you've probably got an hour or 2 hours there. The real joy of it is getting in and talking to people, asking people about the rule sets they're playing, chat to them about the clubs, where they are, what they do. Maybe you can go and join a club. Who knows what that looks like? And that's it. What makes Carronade special for me? It's the people. I've been active, quite a public war gamer on the west coast of Scotland for over 21 years now, so I know loads of people. So I'm always find out about the clubs and stuff. And it's the closest show to Glasgow, as I mentioned earlier. So for me, it's catching up with all those people in Glasgow. Now, in case you don't know, Glaswegians love to talk, a really sociable part of the world. I love living in Glasgow. I've lived here since the year 2000. So find out what people are working on, how the clubs are going, just having a good old blather. So the traders, on the trader front, I think there's a bit of a wee shift happening for Carronade. There's two big shows in Scotland, Carronade and Claymore. And a few of the big names from down south seem to be making the trip. I noticed that last year. Same things happened this year. I know cost of living, fuel, etc. Really tricky. And that's a shame. But thankfully, it seems like the Scottish traders, smaller traders, have stepped up and filled the gaps. Thing is, they tend to be a bit more niche than some of the bigger names. But it does mean it makes the show feel a bit more local. Um, and actually, the traders that came up from England tended to be in the northeast. I don't mind somebody with a northeastern accent. It suits me just fine. So one of the other big things about Carronade, it's the first place I came across, it was a flea market. So rather than a traditional bring and buy, you have a flea market where people hire a stall for a length of time. It was always flea market. It was rammed as always, a chaotic treasure trove, if you will. And this year, actually, quite a poignant one. In the wee annex and in the flea market were three collections being sold from wargamers who'd sadly passed on. Derek Hodge, who I didn't know personally, another whose name I didn't catch sadly, and my friend in the flea market, Jamie Farquhar. So Jamie's actually about 10 years younger than us. I'd known him since he was 17. I've known him 20 odd years. So it's quite poignant. He would always have a wee stall at the flea market, and his mum was wanting to see. I went to his funeral, caught up with his mum and chatted. Very poignant. I've seen this sort of thing a couple of times in the past, but you start to wonder if this will become more of a sad staple at shows. It's sobering, but heartening to see sort of collections going to new homes. Right, that aside, back on with the games. So tables for me were brilliant, as you see here, samurai games. Well, current favourites were represented. A couple of big samurai games. Three War of the Roses games, although to be fair, one of them had goblins and frogmen fighting a War of the Roses army. which was historically very questionable, but still entertaining. I only spotted a couple of non-28 mil tables, obviously apart from that naval game we just saw there. There's a 15 millimeter Napoleonic game and a World War II game, Fireball Fall from Pals of Zurich. Now, our club's hoping to add that to next year with an Epic Battles American Civil War table, so watch this space. Spoke to Kenneth about getting it put on. Now, we're going to get a 6x4 table. Traditionally, we play on tables bigger than that, so who knows if we go down well next year and provide a table quality, we'll start applying for bigger tables. Now, something I did notice this year seemed to be an uptick in science fiction games. Now, I've got no issue with that, and actually I love science fiction and fantasy myself. But you could tell a lot, apart from this one here, you could tell a lot of those tables lean more towards game mechanics than sort of big historical spectacles. That said, the table we just mentioned, the Crossfire Teams, a stunning science fiction board, beautiful work. I'm not wanting to get into the weeds too much with that. I'm going to quick overview. The weather was lovely. The chat, top tier. Yeah, I bought loads of stuff. Don't tell shelves or the wife. But there was one moment that took the shine off it a bit. Around 12:45, someone came through. We were in the dining hall. It was our club meetup. We always meet up at 12:30, catch up with each other, have lunch, chat about what we've done so far the day. But someone came through with a camera flash that could have signaled Batman. Seriously distracting. We were right. It really threw us off. It was quite distracting. I don't know how that kind of flash might affect people with epilepsy. I suffer a bit from migraine stuff myself, and it kind of stunned me and made me just feel a bit woozy for a bit. Not the organisers' fault, but maybe something to watch in future. Yeah, whatever it was bad and it was excessive. So, cut to some closing thoughts. Looking ahead, what would I love to see at Carronade in the future? Said it before, seminars, talks, roundtable sort of thing. So, done really well at the Joy 6 Wargames Show. Adds a bit of depth to round out the day. And you know what? I'd even be happy to host one. And actually, I'll send Kenneth and the team a suggestion email as well. Maybe I don't know what the cost would be like to get an extra classroom or stuff. That's on them, but it's an idea I've got. Finally, Carronade 2025, cracking day out. Chat games, a few poignant moments, and lots of hobby. We were there from 9:45 to 2:15, and honestly, time flew. Out, quite happy to maybe stay around for another hour or so. But the guys that drove, they were kind of ready to go. Thanks to Falkirk and District Lads for another brilliant show. If you were there, let me know what you thought about it in the comments. And if you picked up any of the bargains at the flea market, I know I certainly did. I'd love to hear about them. And I look forward to chatting to you in another video. That's bye for now. Goodbye.